how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Transport Fever 2. I hope you're having a good one because I am excited to be back. I've got some plans, I've got some ideas, and we've got some things that we need to get done today. So at the moment, there is an absolutely huge, absolutely enormous amount of food and goods sitting in Philadelphia. A lot of this stuff is getting ready to be loaded up and taken elsewhere. But we also need to get set up to start taking these goods up towards, I believe, Madison right here, and also up to Virginia Beach and up to Glendale as well. And I'm sure there's other places around here like Simi Valley, we can take them as well. There's a lot of places that want goods, and that's, funnily enough, a good thing because we're making a whole bunch of goods. Over here by Hialeah and with everything we're doing in this area, we have set things up to start making plastic, and then up by Yonkers, we're making goods with steel and all that good stuff as well. And we are doing a pretty good job. We're bringing all that stuff down, we bring it to this station, and we have trains that come in and pick up the final product, the goods, and take those all the way down to good old Philadelphia. They get loaded into Philadelphia Station, they get picked up and taken down to Burbank and Gilbert, which is going pretty well, right? We're moving all that stuff down there. People are getting their goods. They're relatively happy about it, but we could probably be moving more if we really wanted to. But what's also interesting is that if we go all the way down to Gilbert, it's now accepting food. So we could probably set up a line to start bringing food down to Gilbert as well, which I don't think would be a terrible idea. It would certainly get us some more money. Although I think we'd probably need more trains on that line to make things just a little bit more regular. But we can get there. We can 100% get there. And that's probably something we'll do today. But before we even go near that idea, there's been an interesting development. Now, you might remember that Detroit was having issues with bricks. Well, thankfully, it is no longer having issues getting bricks into this station. And that's because I went ahead and replaced all of the wagons with trucks, which worked out pretty well. What's kind of exciting about this is that I have since managed, I'm going to go ahead and pin this, we'll just open this line, manage vehicles. I've since managed to unlock more trucks. So the trucks we have at the minute are the Benz tarpaulin trucks. However, we could, if we wanted to, get, for example, the flatbed trucks or the tarpaulin trucks from Mack. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to replace all of those guys with the Mack trucks. And then on this line, we're going to go ahead and manage the vehicles and replace all of those with the Mack trucks as well. And that's going to let us move a lot more stuff. And I'm kind of excited about that. I actually want to go to a road depot for a second because I do want to look at the stats on these guys. These guys are 25 miles per hour, 7 capacity, Ooh, but the capacity's higher. Slower trucks, but higher capacity by what, 6 miles an hour? Interesting. Okay, I might actually want to look into, I might want to undo that. I got really excited by the fact that we had new stuff, but I didn't actually look at how fast, or in this case, slow these trucks are. They look really cool though. I love this design of truck. They're not as fast as I'd want them to be. I don't know. I guess we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. Regardless, we are bringing a bunch more brick back down into Detroit, and that's helping things along quite nicely. Philadelphia, by the way, has had some upgrades as well. I went in and built sort of a ring road around it, and I upgraded some of the roads in the middle to be a bit wider, since Philly is going to be, hopefully, our main city one day. It has 239 residents at the moment. It's got 240 residents at the moment, so it's increasing, which is great. But I actually noticed something. I noticed that Laredo is growing massively. Laredo is doing fantastic right here. 520 people in Laredo. We might want to increase the capacity of the public transport, which actually apparently I've already done. Yeah, I forgot that we had this as well. I've made the public transport, you know, use actual vehicles now rather than wagons. But Laredo's not the only place that's growing. I'm pretty sure if we head all the way back down here, Gilbert as well has, yeah, 325 people. And then Burbank is, well, it's not doing so well. It's got 102, looking like it's going to go down to 86. My point being you know, it's the center of everything, but Philadelphia thus far isn't growing how I would want it to, and I'm not 100% sure why. But I guess what I could do is come in here and go to the loop 1, manage the vehicles, and swap all of those out for, let's see, passenger. We'll go for the Mac right here, and that should give us a bunch of those guys. We'll go over to this loop number 2, manage the vehicles, and swap those out for the Mac as well. And that's hopefully going to improve things just a little bit. It'll get more people moving more quickly, and that's sort of what we're looking for. And so I suppose at this point what we do is we start moving these goods from Philadelphia up to Madison and up to Glendale, Virginia Beach, etc., etc. So let's just see how exactly that's going to work. And by that, I mean, let's go ahead and put a bunch of train stations in here. Now, where exactly is it that Madison wants goods? It wants them over here, which is actually kind of perfect, because that's 100% where I want to go ahead and put the train station. So I'm going to bulldoze these roads because I can afford to, and we're going to go ahead and just build ourselves a nice street straight across. You know what? You can go away as well. We're going to build ourselves a nice street straight across there and confirm it. And we're going to come straight out like this as well. And that's where our train station is going to go. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a building. We'll get ourselves the, I suppose we'll go for a passenger station. We'll do 2 tracks and we'll make it, you know, a nice long station as well. And I guess we can do something with cargo in one way or other. I don't know how much I'm going to connect to Madison at any point, so I guess we'll sort of figure that out as we go along. Now, if we look at Virginia Beach, the goods are wanted down here, so what I'm going to do is take out this section of road and put a new section of road right in about here. This is going to get rid of some buildings, but honestly, that's okay. We can deal with that. We'll just do a little something something here, and we'll get ourselves a station, swing it around a little bit, and it is essentially going to go right about, I think there, right there is probably good enough. We can go ahead and smooth out the terrain just a little bit. And that has disconnected something. Minneapolis, well, actually it's Virginia Beach has been completely disconnected from everything. So what we'll do is bring this road back a bit, and we'll just go ahead, get ourselves a country road, and we can bring it over this way a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and sort of bring it back over this way a little bit. And I think maybe just connecting it there, or even there, is probably fine. So that gives us a connection to Virginia Beach, which looks okay. I could probably make it a little bit nicer, but I'm not too worried about it. That gives us that connection that we needed. Next up is going to be Glendale and Simi Valley. And that's going to be sort of the tricky part, because maybe we want to do an offshoot, maybe to Virginia Beach to Simi Valley and then sort of over to Glendale and back. That might be the way to do it. I think that is going to be the way we do it. So let's have a look at Simi Valley and see where the goods are wanted. They're wanted right here, which is a little bit frustrating. What if we went to Glendale first? So sort of up this way. Where do they want goods? They want goods right in the middle of the town. Okay, that doesn't help me in the slightest. That's not helpful at all. Okay. Well, actually, maybe it is. Hold on a minute. So what if we did a terminus sort of station? We go out here, up to here. Where do they want goods? Right there. That actually is okay. If I go to passenger terminus station, 2 platforms, this road here needs to go away. And then what I can do is put my station just right in here. And that will work out just fine. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at. This road connection here, I suppose we can take it back a little bit. And we'll just connect up at this end of town. And that should be all right. And so just like that, we have all of our stations set up. We have Madison, we have Virginia Beach, we have Simi Valley, and we have Glendale. And I think it's going to be relatively simple to connect a lot of these. It's very tempting. I'll be honest, it's very tempting to just do 4 massive tracks going the entire way between everything, but that's not very efficient, so we're not going to do that. What we'll do is, I don't remember what side parallel tracks go on. We'll just come straight out of here, we'll have the catenaries on. I think it goes on the left side. It does. So we'll go straight out of there, and we'll go sort of straight out of here as well, up to about that spot. And essentially, it's just going to be a case of, you know, connecting everything together as nicely as we possibly can. So going over to Virginia Beach, for example, if I just do this massive, massive stretch right here, we want to go to there. What is that going to do for us? Now, that's going to go through that factory, which is unfortunately not what we want. So we'll go ahead and sort of go this way. So we cross over that section of road. And then what we can do is see if we can do a massive stretch all the way to there, which we absolutely can. So we'll go ahead and approve of that, which isn't going to give us a second section of track, but that's okay. We can grab from here and do exactly the same thing. And that's going to give us a good little connection right there. We also just got a new tram, which is lovely. I need to start doing stuff with trams. I did just go and put a bunch of tram tracks in Philadelphia, so I really should probably do something with them. Now, let's go and get some parallel tracks starting, I want to say about here. And I'm going to run them like this. And that's going to give us a nice little section where these trains can sort of do their thing. I might even go so far as going to about here for some parallel tracks, and we'll just run them straight across. So we will do some pretty large sections of parallel track just to make sure that the cargo trains, if they end up being massive, you know, we want them to have a good bit of space to play with. And then all we need to do is cross you over to here, and then cross you over to right about here. And that seems like a pretty good length of track. As for the other side, connecting to Simi Valley, it has a bit of a factory to go through, which is interesting, actually, because if we could get some stone, we could make construction materials for Virginia Beach. There is just no stone nearby, which is unfortunate, because if there was, that would be such a good and neat little production line. But alas, let's go ahead, I suppose, and bring this track out here. A little bit like that, and we'll just do the same thing. We'll bring all of the tracks just out here. And I suspect these intersections are going to get a little bit messy. So I think this is probably a decent little setup right here. We have a bunch of tracks going in and out of Madison up to Virginia Beach, and then it just stops as it approaches Simi Valley. But I think the simplest thing we can do here is get ourselves some parallel tracks, and I'm just going to see what happens if I try to go directly into Simi Valley, which is going to be on the passenger side right there. And it's just going to be a giant tunnel for essentially $5 million, which is admittedly a considerable amount of cash, but well, I might go with this. This might be the way we go on this one, and we'll just sort of deal with that considerable amount of cash. I might even move it over to here, so it's a bit more of a direct route. It is a little bit more money, but that seems okay. And we can also go ahead and smooth this so it looks a little bit less awful. And we'll do the same on this side as well. I'm not too sure how well that's all going to connect together, but we'll figure it out, right? It'll be okay, I'm sure. We'll just run this all the way back to right about here for, you know, a nice cozy $2.5 million. And that gives us the tracks that connect to Simi Valley. This is going to be a mess. This is actually going to be a mess. What we need to do now is have this parallel section come out, and I kind of need it to go to here, and I'm going to need that to cross over to, oh boy, this is not going to play nicely at all, to about there, and I need you, which isn't possible, to go to there. Oh boy, this is going to suck. So I think this is going to be what we do in Simi Valley. I'm going to figure out how to connect it to everything else shortly. But my idea is I want this track to go from here all the way over to that spot. So we're going to go ahead and approve that. And that's going to head towards Glendale, which is most likely going to be a tunnel going through all of this. And that's going to be kind of a little bit terrible as well. I don't love that. I don't love that at all. Let's see if we can maybe flatten the terrain here. It's going to be very, very expensive to do this, but I think that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to flatten this terrain and create sort of a, I guess, some kind of canyon for the tracks, right? And then we'll figure out how this is all going to connect together. And there we go. We have a connection from Simi Valley over to Glendale, and I think it looks pretty good. We got this bridge right here. We got this tunnel, which goes straight through the mountain, connects to there. And essentially, we're going to have like another tunnel that goes over this way and connects to everything. But for now, what I really need to do is bring these segments of track back just a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and connect here and see if we can't maybe get this to connect in a way that doesn't look too bad. And I think that honestly kind of looks okay. I don't mind that too much. We'll connect this side as well. And does the tunnel entrance look okay? It absolutely does. So that looks fine. We'll smooth it out a little bit so it's a bit less rough looking. And that seems like a fine little entrance to this train station. Going over this way, we are going to need to figure out somewhere to connect Glendale to everything. And my original idea was I was going to have it be, you know, a train that goes from Virginia Beach to Simi Valley to Glendale, back to here, and then down to here. And that's maybe something we'll do with like a passenger line, but I think the cargo one is going to have to be able to sort of turn and figure itself out a little bit. So let's just experiment for a second here and see if I can be a little bit cheeky, because what I would want to do is sort of bring this around, bring it around, and somehow take it underground and connect it like that. And that sort of works. That absolutely sort of works. I imagine that to be a bit of a nightmare, logistically speaking, to actually pull that off and set that whole thing up. But yeah, that sort of works. I'm kind of okay with that. So let's just go ahead and see if we can connect to, you know, the same spot with the other section of track, which it looks like I can. So that's essentially what I'm looking for. You know, some of the trains will go into Glendale, come back out and do their thing. And wait, that actually gets rid of this oh, I'm an idiot. I'm actually an idiot. I have an entire section of track that's designed for this, and I decided not to use it because I'm an idiot. Okay, so after a whole bunch of futzing around, yes, I have something that I think will work. So now we need to get some signals in here. Now we need to figure out exactly how this is going to work. But the idea is that trains will come up this way. They are going to cross over, I guess, from the right side to the right side here. They are going to come in to... Oh, no, they're going to stay on this side, actually. Okay. They come in. They stay on the right side. They're going to come out. And then they're going to need to be able to cross over to this side of things, which kind of makes me think that there is a solid chance that I am not going to be able to have hugely long trains here, but we'll give it a shot. So it needs to cross over, and then it'll sort of get back out onto the right. It's going to come all the way over to Glendale, where the train is going to go straight in here. And this is where things are going to get weird as well, because we now need the train to come out, cross over here. It'll be on the left side, and then it's going to be about this spot that it crosses to the correct side before going into the tunnel. So signals are going to be a bit of a nightmare on this one, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. Things are also connected down here, as I've mentioned already, so all we really need to do is figure out signaling on this as well. So we will go ahead and say that we have a signal just before there. We already have one here. We're going to have a signal there as well. And essentially what we'll do is now auto signal, and we're going to go and I'm going to put them, say, 250 meters apart, starting about there. And that can run the entire way along this section of track up to that intersection, and that's okay. We can go to here and have them go sort of the entire way back as well. So that's all of those set up. This intersection, honestly, not super worried about it. We'll turn off auto signaling for a second and do one right about here. We'll get one right about, let's see. Let's go for about here and here. And again, that should keep us pretty good. We're going to want some signals, I suppose, here as well and right there. We don't really want trains stopping in all of this. This space is probably fine. This one might be a little bit short, though, given the, well, this whole section of track. So we'll leave that be. And then I guess what we do is we'll come along to here. We'll turn auto signals back on. We'll go here and here. And that gives us a couple of signals right up to the station, which is absolutely perfect. So that should give us everything we need coming into Madison. And then coming out of Madison, again, going to be relatively easy. We'll go for just before the catenaries there and there. And that does give us an auto signal up here, which is a perfect spot for one. We can go ahead and put one back here as well. And then we'll just auto signal sort of in the opposite direction as well. So again, that should give us everything going into Madison. Once the tracks merge together, I think at that point, well, actually thinking about it, we are going to want a signal, let's say about there. And I guess we'll just auto signal in the opposite direction and everything should be fine. So auto signal that way, all the way to near Virginia Beach. And now that the signals are done, let's go ahead and set up this line. So we're going from Philadelphia. We are coming all the way out and we're going to be going up to good old Madison right there, which, you know, we don't have a crossover point, but that's all right. We're going to be going to Virginia Beach, which is fine. It's getting a little bit weird, but that's okay. We're going to be going to Simi Valley. Then we're going to be going over to Glendale. And now we just need to work out how everybody's getting back because it's being real weird about it. So looking at this, what we need is the connection from Madison to Virginia Beach to be a better one. And I'm realizing, ooh, I wonder if I've got the wrong platforms on this. There is a really good chance that I do, in fact, have the wrong platform set up on this. We might need a cargo platform in the middle here. And it's actually looking like that's exactly what we need in the middle there. I think there's a good chance I've completely screwed this up, which is a little frustrating, a little bit concerning even might be the word to use here. Fortunately, Madison is perfect. Madison is doing what I want it to do. But that connection through, that's not good. That is not good at all. All right, the amount of messing around I've had to do with this line is kind of crazy, but I think I've got it to a place where it's actually kind of working and will be doing everything that I now want it to do. There's a lot of weird crossovers, and I suspect the trains are going to get really confused, but I'm willing to work with it. So this is going to be train cargo. It is Philly goods to Madison, Virginia Beach, Simi, and Glendale. It's a lot of things. That is a lot of things. I'm also going to make this line yellow because of course I am. And now we need to go through, I realize, and set up the stops. So the idea is in Philadelphia, we are going to load up on goods, which are right here. And we are going to say unload everything at all of the rest of the stops, and it can figure things out for itself. Now, what we need to do is get ourselves a new train. And I do think we got a new train, right? We got an electric train, which can do 75 miles an hour. That's not bad. That is not bad. I'll tell you what. Let's go around and let's start upgrading some of our tracks here, because I think it could be kind of fun to have a new type of train going here. I figure that's probably not a bad idea. So I need to figure out what platform this is going to. I think it's this one. So this is going to have to, you know, go through like all of this. I have no idea. I have no idea if I'm doing this right. I have no idea if these are the right sections of track that I'm upgrading here. But it looks like it. That looks all upgraded as well. So this is going to get a nice little upgrade. This guy gets an upgrade. All of this gets electrified as well. And I'm going to need to go around and do this again at some point with high-speed rail, but we can do that eventually. There's no major rush. Oh, now hold on a second. We've just unlocked a plane. It's 1920 already. Okay, we need to bring the date speed down to like a quarter. The game is advancing way too quickly for my liking. I am looking forward to getting a plane though. That's going to be so cool. But what we do need to do is we need to go in, we need to configure this station, and essentially I need to upgrade some tracks. So I need to go in and take out, oh my God, this is very laggy. But I need to go in and take out all of these sections of track in here and upgrade those to be electrified. This might completely mess with all of the resources on all of these lines, but it is going to let me get a faster train. And honestly, this is something we're going to need to do at some point anyway. So all of these can go away. We then go in and replace it with some sections of electrified track. And hopefully that gives me my resources back. I don't think it's going to, but it'd be nice if it did. It would be really nice if it did do that. Regardless, we have messed something up because there's now a line that's not happy with me. This one specifically is not happy with me. So let's manage line, and it's the Philadelphia-Detroit Waypoint connection that's the problem. So move this guy to platform 1. That didn't seem to fix anything, did it? Uh-oh. No, we have a problem now. Okay, everything is working again. We have the electrified tracks. We'll see what happens, I guess, is what we'll do. I am really genuinely slightly concerned that we might have moved some things onto some tracks where they aren't necessarily supposed to be. Such as this one is now down on that track, which is not where it's supposed to be. So I want to put this guy, instead of platform 5, it was platform 3, which is, yeah, that's exactly where I wanted that. There's other stuff that seems to be elsewhere, but for the most part, everything sort of looks like it's working. I don't know if it actually is, but we'll assume that it is. As for this place, we need to go in and electrify this as well. I don't think there's a very quick upgrade option for this. So essentially, same thing, just bulldoze a whole bunch of stuff and replace it with some electric tracks, a bit like that, and a bit like that. And that should keep us okay. Did that get rid of any stops? I don't think it did. Ooh. Oh, it ever so slightly did. Can I change you to platform 2? There we go. All right, so that's working again. Then we need to go up this way, and we need to change out this whole section of track. So let's have a look at the lines. They are both, so blue is platform 1, and orange is platform 2. And now that all of that is upgraded, let's get ourselves a train. And we need to remember that what we're moving right now is going to be essentially goods exclusively. So we'll buy a vehicle. We'll get this guy. We're going to get it in black, maybe white. I don't know what color to get it in. What's going to look good. I don't know if white's going to look all that good. Let's go for something completely different, completely out of left field. Let's go for a nice bright red. We'll go for red. No, we won't. It looks stupid as well. You know what? We'll go for a gray. We'll go for gray. That's fine. It looks boring. Wagons-wise, we are going to be moving, as I mentioned, goods, which is going to be in boxcars, which honestly, I'm going to make those gray as well. And we'll go for a capacity of, let's see, what length is this train? 130 meters. Let's go until we get to like 201. Maybe not 201, maybe 165. And we'll go for that. That seems like a decent little train. So let's buy that. It is 19 million, but I think we can make that work. And it's going to go in the goods line right there, which it can't find a path. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. So there are sections of track that I haven't electrified. I'm wondering, is this guy, do I have to electrify you? I doubt it. I'm wondering if I forgot to electrify Madison. No, actually, I didn't. Oh, actually, I did. Ah, okay. That explains a lot. So as luck would have it, I am in fact an idiot, and it was the depot that was missing the catenaries, which we now have. So the electric train is rolling. It's actually picking up speed ridiculously quickly as well, which is great on one hand and bad because every other train is going to be much, much slower. But that's sort of just how things are going to be. Also, why are you stopped there? What's going on? What kind of locomotive do you have right now? So let's manage this vehicle. In fact, let's look at this line. We have one train, manage vehicles, and let's edit. So you look like you have the Atlantic at the front. We do have the Mikado, though, which is more powerful but slower. So I guess we'll just stick with the Atlantic, but that's making me wonder what the train in front of you is using currently, which is all of these guys will manage the vehicles. And looking at the front, I can't tell which one it is. I think it might actually be the Atlantic that we're using there as well. Yeah, 100% is. I guess it's just slower because of reasons. But that's fine. I'm not really too worried about that. We'll get this electric train going. We should eventually see some goods getting loaded onto this line right here for Madison, Virginia, Simi, and the other one that I've already forgotten. That's probably good. But we should see some goods get loaded onto those lines or that line, and we should see them moving out eventually. Now, you are a passenger line. That's fine. Where exactly is my goods production? I mean, not my goods production, but how exactly is it going? It seems that plastic is actually the slower part of all of this. That's kind of interesting. I'm wondering if, let's see, how is this going? This thing's upgraded a little bit. Its production and shipment could be better, which is fair enough. I suppose we could maybe look into doing something with that. If we look at maybe all of the lines that are moving around here. So we'll pin this. So grain to plastic is, let's see, a rate of 412. Plastic to goods is 303. And I believe it's 2 to 1. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So I guess what we want to do is pin you and pin you. And we need 2 grain for every 1 plastic. Now, that's going to be coming from down here. This guy is producing 300, which isn't enough, actually. So this thing is producing as much as it possibly can, but that is just not enough. So that says to me that another little line running some grain, that's not even a grain farm. Ooh. Where are we going to get grain from for this thing then? So we need another 300 grain going from somewhere over to this guy. We could have it go from Madison. That would potentially be a bit of an option. We could have it... Actually, you know what? I think it is pretty much exclusively going to have to be Madison grain that is going over to Hialeah. So let's do it. Let's build a bridge and get over it, I suppose.